Hello, Nimers. I'm making this video because I have been spending many years working with KNIME and I have gained substantial experience using it for data analysis. But over time, KNIME's flexibility for automation has become increasingly evident, especially with the growing number of new nodes available in the ecosystem, making it suitable for automation. In this video, I want to compare KNIME to n8n because you may be in the situation that you think, okay, if we're going to do automation, should we shift to n8n? Should we use n8n instead of keep working with KNIME? And I'm going to give you my impressions. So for starting, so n8n is a solution or is a type of ecosystem that allows you to do easy automation and deployment of logic that you can send to your clients and allow them to see only the parts of the workflow that shows the responses without allowing them to see the logic behind, which is a perfect business use case. It is a tool that developed or appeared when the explosion of LLMs, and therefore they have this nice way of connecting information using the so-called agents. They use AI agents or basic LLM chain. It's based in LangChain, and it allows you to get repetitive data that needs to be so requires certain kind of cognition where LLMs excel at. And the thing with this tool is that while it is very good to use, you need to have a high knowledge of JSON formatting, which is not something that people that is not used to work with programming is willing to learn. Well, in any case, I will compare a workflow that we have in the company for two types of, for one type of information that's basically taking what we call the Google Scholar feeds that basically arrive to my email, and I flag them so that I can send it to an Excel table. And in the Excel table, I have the Google feeds with different publications that based on keywords may be interested for the operations of the company. So of course this is simulated data, but the idea is the same for how we use it. So we take the Excel where we contain these different feeds, and then we try to find the feeds that are more recent. As you can see here, the last 30 days feeds only will be analyzed. So we run this automation every 30 days. So every 30 days, we're going to get new information. And at this point, the problem with the feeds is that you have the different publications in a very unstructured way, and you want them to have each publication separated in different rows so that you can ask the LLM about the publication and so on and so forth. The ultimate goal of this automation, by the way, is to allow to identify publications that could be relevant for our operations, as I said. And therefore, whether you use n8n or KNIME is kind of key at different levels. So you can, at this point, take these feeds and give it to an LLM and tell, okay, separate these feeds, these publications inside of each of the feeds in a different object. So you have to think in a JSON object in which every object will be, every level will be a publication with the title of the publication, with the authors, and with the source, which is basically what the Google Feeds gives you. While in n8n you are forced to work with JSON, in KNIME you can work with different tools, and you don't need to format in JSON, but the LLMs in general works better if they can output in JSON. They will be more reliable. But nevertheless, you have to think that when you work with an LLM, you are working with the equivalent of an employee that have a very, very bad hangover. So we know, for instance, for these feeds that we have 110 publications that can be chosen or could be identified from within it. The LLMs, the best case scenario, it doesn't matter the model, get 73. It means some of them are identified, some of them are super. One of these 73s maybe is hallucination. And this is how you have to think an LLM in this case. So if you want that to extract information from a very long information in a specific way, you have to count that this is not as reliable as the people sell. Other way to do it is programmatically. So you can take your question, go to ChatGPT, tell them, give me a Python script from to be used from within Python script n8n node in KNIME, and it will give you eventually, after trial and error, will give you the right script to do that, to identify the different parts of the feeds and to separe the different publications programmatically. It will happen instantaneously. Whereas when you use the LLM, it will take 50 minutes, for instance, for 100 publications. And it's much more reliable. Okay, so at this point, we never use the Python script node for that is in n8n because it's really restrictive. So you cannot use certain tools, you cannot use certain packages. Whereas in 9, you can use every package you want as long as it is compatible with certain requirements. And that had never been the limitation for us. Then in some point, when you have the different, so you can see it here, I can just show it for 9, how it looks like. We make this Python script so that we have every publication separated here per row, right? And cut by the blah blah, because there's a lot of blah blah in this feed. So you don't want to have much if you want to send it to an LLM for analysis. So, and then in 9, we have to build our own custom agent node that is in a component, which is based in the natively supported LLM prompter node of KNIME and the authenticator, which allows you, interesting, even it says OpenAI, it allows you to use Olama or LM Studio or other local tools as long as you have the endpoint, the local endpoint. So this agent, what it makes is basically allows to see all the configuration for the agent in a very useful manner, so that we don't have to go node by node trying to change the parameters. And it allows to put the prompt, it allows to put the publication that will be inserted in the text that is sent to the LLM for each row, the agent role and the agent instructions. And by doing that, well, this is something that facilitates the work massively, right? Whereas in n8n, you have already this capability built in, where you can put the system prompt, the system message. You can put the prompt, and using the JSON, you can introduce the fragments of the feeds or the publications that you wanted the LLM to look at. So this system, as I mentioned, is very good in our case, is going to use an MCP tool that will allow the system to go to internet, find informations, build an abstract of each of the publications so that we understand more what it's about, because the feeds doesn't give you enough information to take a decision. So once we do that, you can something that you can do with an MCP server that is local or an MCP server that is a service for you that is external. Um, then you get basically an abstract for every publication. And then the question that we had is, okay, now we have a second agent that we wanted to go to our database, to our knowledge base, where our documents are, and look if this publication may or may not be relevant for the operations of the company. So looking the capacity to encompass this information in our operations. And what the LLM does in this case, it is going to our knowledge base. It is comparing the description of this paper to any other document that is in our knowledge base, and then summarizing how, if possible, this publication can be encompassed or can be used or leveraged by our operations. Make a report very well done in Markdown formatting with a mermaid scheme that allows to see how it could be integrated. And this is very nice, and this works very well. That is, again, something you can do in both applications. But as you can see, after that, you just have to extract the title of the publication, format it in a way that the file name, the Markdown file name, will be the title of the publication, which is basically this part. And then you convert it into binary, and then you send it to your knowledge base, which is, in our case, is Obsidian. And these create markdown files for each publication with the analysis that you explained. So this is all the automation you need to do all this. It's a very thoughtful and a nice way to keep up to date with the new publications that are relevant when you are working in a high competitively environment. Uh, and as you see, it's pretty simple in KNIME, whereas I cannot say the same in n8n. I have to accept that I am much better in KNIME than in n8n, but so far what I see is that automations tends to be very long in n8n. It has many problems when you try to set up the automation, because every time you set up the automation, you have to pin it to avoid running again the whole process. Every run of these LLMs takes 1 hour, 2 hours. And if you forget to pin it, then you have to start from the beginning. And the worst point is, even if you pin it, there are some processes in the workflow that won't work if you have pinned the information. This is one thing. The second thing that we found very challenging is that because the infrastructure of n8n is trying to push you very actively to use external services because of the business case of these people, then they make updates, regular updates of the platform that make you have to make maintenance to your workflows in a way that is completely counterproductive. It makes you waste more time trying to update your workflows every time they do an update that at the end is not worthy. That also obviously happen with any platform, but with KNIME it does not happen as often and as aggressively. And automations that we have used for 2 or 3 years still work, whereas in the other it's just simply broken. So you have to change it all the time, and they are always trying to push you to use external services. When you're using secretive data, this is not something you want to do, because you don't want to send information. We know nowadays that if you send information to any external services, you don't know what is happening with your information. It's very difficult to track whether they are using it for different purposes that they said. And even for regulatory purposes, they will not allow to use external services anyway. So with that, I hope I give you a good idea of what my feelings are with both. I have to say that not being paid by any company I'm just a very experienced user of automation and KNIME and n8n, and I want to give you my impression about what you can do with KNIME and with n8n, and what are the caveats we have found. I have nothing to say against KNIME, by the way. Um, it was a stop when they didn't have an option, a economically viable option for the server, but that changed it, and that makes the possibility of uploading or deploying these workflows without showing your logic to your clients in a server manner up to 500 calls. So most of people do not need more than 200, 300 calls a month when you are a small business. Okay, I hope that helped you, and see you soon. Bye bye.